hips further back down into your heels if it's available. And as always, feel free to just massage the forehead. Hi, Miranda. Massage the forehead from side to side. Maybe even allow your forearms to lift off the mat for just a moment, giving yourself a little more length in this child's pose. And again, just noticing the breath, inhaling through your nose, sending the breath out through the mouth. You can always come down to your child's pose at any point in the practice that you feel you need a break. You can just rest in child's pose and just allow yourselves a moment to reset. Take away any distractions that you may still have in your mind and just put those aside for these next 40 minutes of your practice. Let's take one more breath, but start to seal the lips as you inhale through your nose. Keep the lips sealed as you breathe out through the nose. Our Ujjayi breath, cultivating heat within the body with this breath. Inhale and exhale. Take a moment to just start to slowly lift your gaze in front of you. Keep those fingertips spread out nice and wide. Look forward as you breathe in. Send the breath out as you exhale. Softly start to shift the weight into your palms, taking your time to move out of your child's pose. No rush at all. We're just going to take a couple of movements here, drawing those knees under the hips. Shift back first and forward. Just a couple of gentle movements back and forth. Back and forth, shifting the weight from the hands to the knees and the toes. And then bring the circular movement into the pose. So just bringing yourselves into nice big round shapes in the air. Rotate the direction of your circle. Good, and then from here, just start to find an alignment with this tabletop. So visualize the tabletop in your body. Those hands are underneath the shoulders. Those knees are underneath the hips. And we're going to start with a little balance here. So just start by just pressing your right hand forward first. And as you bring the right hand forward, draw the right shoulder back, turn the palm to the side so the thumb points up. And then take your left hand and reach that, the left foot. Take the left foot and reach that left foot back. So right hand forward, left leg back. And we're just going to take a breath here to find balance. Inhale. Stay on the exhale. I'd like for you to slowly start to lift that left heel a little bit higher. You'll feel this little bit of heat in that left glute. And then take that right arm a little bit higher. Core is engaged. We're here for just 3. Keep pointing the toes down as you lift. Keep your gaze down at the mat for 2. Listen carefully on 1. We're just going to bend that left knee. And from here, you can stay as you are, or just start to swing that right arm back. Maybe you're reaching for your left toes. Maybe it's available. If it's not, don't worry. Place that right hand on the lower back. Keep that left knee bent and find a balance here. Wherever you are, we're just trying to lift that left knee a little bit higher for 3. Keep the inner thighs engaged for 2. Re-extend back to center. Inhale. Release on the exhale. So a little bit of glute work there. Sway the hips from side to side. Let go of any tension. And we're going to take that same little balance on the other side. Start by just feeling stable in your tabletop. You can even just stay in tabletop for the whole pose. Bring your left hand in front of you. Push your right foot back. This in itself is a balance, but just pause for a moment here. Pull the belly in as you reach that left hand forward, extending that right foot back. Take the heel a little bit higher if you can. Draw that left arm a little bit closer towards that left ear. We're here for 1 more breath. Now stay as you are as you bend that right knee. Swing that left arm back towards the right foot. And again, if it's available, grab a hold of your right foot. If it's not, just take your left hand to the lower back. We're lifting that right knee a little bit higher, activating the right glute. We're here for just 3. If your hand is touching that right foot, keep kicking your hand away from your foot for 2. And 1, let's re-extend for that balanced inhale. Exhale, release. Good. So release any tension by swaying the hips from side to side. Right hip, left hip waking up. Now, we're just going to take a moment to find 3 cat and cows. Drop the belly down, soften at the elbows, lift the gaze, inhale together. As you exhale, round out through the spine, press your mat away, chin to chest. Again, inhale, chest is forward, cow pose. Exhale, round out through the spine. Take your time as you move through cat and cow. Go ahead and do 2 more on your own. Remember, the inhale brings you to cow pose. And the exhale brings you to cat. A couple more breaths here. Coming back to neutral spine on the final exhale breath. Together we come back to that neutral spine. Good. Take a moment to just slide those hands in front of you so that they're no longer underneath the shoulders. Begin by just spreading those fingertips out wide. Tuck both toes under, or both feet under rather. And from here we're slowly pressing those hips gently towards the sky, coming into our first down dog of the practice. So again, first down dog, pedal out the feet a few times. Take a few moments to just bend the knees, a couple of deep knee bends if you like, or maybe one knee bend at a time. And as you take your knee bends, start to slowly relax those heels down towards the ground. Again, they're not touching the mat just yet, they're just working downwards, stretching the calf muscles and the hamstrings. Your hands are spread out nice and wide. Your shoulders are relaxed. The gaze is towards the tops of your thighs or maybe even the belly button. And just let the head relax in your downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep inhalation through the nose. Open mouth exhale in your down dog. Pausing with any movement now and find stillness in your down dog. Inhale together. Send the breath out as you exhale. And let's start to just look forward. Take a moment to just tiptoe your feet towards the top of your mat. Moving with control, moving with intention. And as you get to the top of your mat, find a nice forward fold. Catch opposite elbows if that feels good for you. Let the weight of the body hang heavy fully here. And feel free to nod the head yes and nod the head no a few times. Let your entire weight of the body hang heavy here. Finding softness in those heels as you shift the weight into your toes. And go ahead and release your hands back down towards the mat. Keep the feet as they are. And we're just very gently going to walk those hands over to the right side, stretching the left side body. Looking behind you as you crawl those hands towards the right, stopping when you can't walk them any further. And then on the inhale breath, crawl the hands back through to center and take it over to the left side. Looking behind you, keeping those hips squared, finding that nice stretch through your right lat. Good, come right back through to center. From here, just very gently, slowly, start to unravel your spine, softening the knees as you unravel. Keep your belly button pulled in as you slowly uncoil your entire spine all the way up. Let your head be the last thing to rise. Relax those arms by your sides to start, and then start to reach behind your lower back. Interlace the fingers. And on the inhale breath, let's just squeeze those palms towards each other as we pull the hands down, pushing the hips forward. Find lightness in your toes. And finally, just lift your chin towards the sky as you lift your gaze. Pressing those hips forward, squeezing the shoulder blades behind you. Good, inhale slowly back to central. Shake those arms out, releasing any tension. Walk those toes towards one another. We leave a little gap between the heels, and we're just going to take 2 sun salutations to warm up the body even more. Take together a breath in to bring those palms up towards the sky for a simple mountain pose. Find stillness in your mountain, reaching up with the palms of your hands. On the exhale, swan dive. Open up those arms out wide like wings and let your heart guide you down as you fold. Exhale. On the inhale, come up to that half lift. Your tabletop spine once again, crown of the head forward, tailbone extends back. As you exhale, go ahead and plant your palms. I'd like for you to take your left foot back first. And we're gonna pause in a low lunge. So you're gonna notice that right knee is forward, drop the back knee to the mat. And let's just take a moment to rise up to a modified modified crescent, good. So your arms are up, right knee above the right ankle. Take a breath to extend up nice and high. On the exhale, release your palms to the mat. Take your time to slowly lift that left kneecap off your mat. Three-legged dog, take the right leg up to the sky and just shake it out. Shake out that right leg. Deep breath in. Release your right foot back down, downward facing dog. Together, look forward, inhale. On the exhale, tiptoe to the top of your mat. Taking that same sequence once again. Slowly rise all the way up. Take your arms out by your sides. Reach up. Let those palms meet at the top. Pause. Mountain pose. Swan dive forward as you exhale, letting your chest guide you down. Halfway lifting and pausing here. Tabletop the spine. Engage the core. Soften those knees. This time on the exhale, take your time, plant the palms down and step that right foot back first. Coming into a low lunge, and in your low lunge, I'd like for you to just push down into the hands, look forward and feel your collarbone pushing forward, drawing those shoulders back. Then drop the right knee down. Rise to a modified lunge. And just pause here in that modified lunge. Feeling supported as that right knee is down for support, reaching your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, release your hands back down. Tuck those right toes under as you lift the kneecap off the mat. Three-legged dog, shake it out. This time the left leg sweeps up. Shake it out, create a little bit of movement. And as you exhale, meet back in your downward facing dog. Let's take our first chaturanga together and we'll break it down as always. Look forward on the breath in. Ripple the body forward. So begin to shift the weight into your hands. Come up high on the tips of your toes and shift into a plank pose. Imagine the body is a wave. Drop the knees down, untuck the toes, and just slowly soften both elbows as you lower your chest evenly down towards the mat, bringing your belly down. Let's take a baby cobra on the inhale breath. Shoulders back, tops of the feet down, chest is forward. Take those hands slightly off your mat, let them hover. On the exhale, press into the hands, press into the tops of the feet and the knees, back into your downward facing dog. Deep breath here, inhale. Exhale everything out. Good. Take your right foot up towards the sky. It doesn't have to be high, just a little bit of a lift. And then when you're ready on the exhale, step that right foot between your hands. If you need to walk that foot forward, that's fine. And now we're going to slowly rise to a high lunge. So we're keeping our left knee lifted. If you need to support yourself to start with, I'll go ahead and switch sides. If you need to support yourself, keep those hands on the hips until you feel grounded and stable. Pull the shoulders back and down. Sit low into that right knee. And then finally take your arms up towards the sky for a nice, strong, balancing pose, high lunge. You want those palms to face each other. Slide the shoulders down. Find a length in your fingertips as you reach up. Sit a little bit lower if you can on the exhale. One more time, deep breath in, lift. On the exhale, we're just going to spin our left foot flat to the mat. And we're opening up, warrior two. Relax the arms down. Take a moment to check in with the lower part of your body. Right knee over the right ankle. Left leg is straight. Inner thighs are on fire, engaged. Now start to activate those arms as you reach your fingertips out to the sides. Palms face down to start with. And now flip the palms up and find a nice relaxing slide of the shoulders. Take a deep breath here. Inhale together. Sit a little bit lower as you exhale. We're going to take two little movements with our legs and arms. Straighten the front leg on the inhale. Bring both palms to meet at the top. Inhale. Back to warrior two as you exhale. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach up, rise up. Exhale, warrior 2. This time, inhale, rise up. Pause at the top. On the exhale, we're slowly going to back into warrior 2. Hold warrior 2. Let's take our left hand down the back leg, reach that right palm up and back, reverse your warrior, or peaceful warrior, also known as peaceful warrior. Slide that left hand down the back leg, or maybe even bring your left hand behind your lower back for a little half bind. Good. Reach that right palm back, inhale. Exhale back to center, good. Start to straighten the front leg. Now bring your toes out and your heels in. So we're moving into horse pose. So you want your heels in, toes out, and you want to narrow your stance a little bit. So from here, I'd like for you to place those hands on your thighs. We're just gonna sit into a little bit of a squat, softening both knees. Okay. So the depth of your knee bend is dependent on how flexible your inner thighs and your hips are. So just find what's suitable for you. Relax the toes so they're not gripping the mat. That tends to happen in our horse pose. And now just start by just dropping the left shoulder down and pulling that right shoulder back, a little stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder down. And let's do that again, one more time each side. Left shoulder in, inhale. Exhale, center. Right shoulder down. Good, and back. And now for the horse pose, bring your palms to your heart center. And imagine you're leaning against a wall behind you. So try to work your chest back. And now imagine you're sliding down this wall behind you. So you're going a little bit deeper, but you're holding here. Now let's do a couple of little movements with our arms and legs. On the inhale, straighten the legs. Take those arms up to the sky. This is our star pose, reaching those arms in opposite directions. Back into horse pose as you exhale, soften the knees, hands to your heart. 2 more times. Inhale, rise up, star pose, stretch it out. Exhale, back into your horse pose, just 1 more. Inhale, rise up to that star pose, stretch it out. Building heat in the body as you exhale, back into your horse pose. Let's hold horse for just 3. Stay with me for 2. Let's stretch it out in 1. Inhale, stretch out, star pose, reach up for the sky. Back into your warrior 2 as you exhale. Soften your right knee, facing the right. Softening that front leg. Take a deep breath here. Windmill your hands to the mat. Come into your low lunge. We're just going to pause in our low lunge. Drop the back knee down. Take your left hand inside your right foot. And let's just start with a little twist. That right hand reaches up. And you're pressing firmly into your left palm as you reach the right hand high. And you can stay here, or you can move into the bind, just like we did at the start of the class. Reach your left, bend your left knee behind you, and maybe your right hand comes to your left toes. Again, if that's not available, just bring your right hand to your lower back and keep that left foot down. But if you're in a little bit of a bind, find a connection here with your hand and a foot. Peel that right shoulder back and embrace this gentle stretch. We're here for 3. Coming back to center in 2. In 1, let's release that left foot and the right hand back down to the mat. Take your plank pose on the breath in. Step your right foot with control to meet your left. High plank pose, top of a push-up. Breaking down that chaturanga once again. Inhale together. Drop the knees down as you exhale. We lower this time, coming halfway, not quite to our belly, just halfway, pausing. On the breath in, we're coming up into a higher cobra, variation of up dog. Shoulders back, knees stay down, chest is forward, soft bend at the elbows. And then as you exhale, into downward facing dog, hips back up to the sky. Take a cooling breath here. Deep breath in through the nose. Send the breath out, exhale. We're going to take that same sequence on the left side. Start by just lifting the left leg up. Again, not concerned too much about the height, just finding a little bit of lift for momentum. And then step your left foot or walk the left foot between your hands. Good. And once you have that alignment, Start to slowly rise up. Again, your hands come to the hips to support you. I'll face the other side. And you want to look back, make sure that right leg is active, the hips are squared. And once you feel stable, take your arms up towards the sky. Turn the palms in this time, so your pinkies are slightly in. Notice how the difference in your upper body as you do this rotation, external rotation. Deep breath here. Sit a little bit lower if you can as you exhale. Let's spin the back foot flat onto the mat. Open wide, warrior two. So again, relax the arms to set up. This time your left knee is bent. You've got that right foot pressing down into the mat, especially the knife edge of that right foot. You're drawing that left knee back and you're pressing your left pinky toe into the mat. And then take your arms out wide for your final layer of full warrior two. Start with the palms to face down and then gently flip the palms to face up. Good. Notice again that space that you've created in the upper body by that subtle rotation in the wrist. Let's take a moment here to breathe in and sink a little lower as we exhale. We're going to do that same movement with our legs and our feet. Straighten the front leg, bring the palms to meet at the top. Variation of warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Bend the front knee again 2 more times. Inhale, reach up, straighten front leg. Exhale, warrior two, maybe a little bit deeper. One last time. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, warrior two, pause. Reverse your warrior. Take the right hand down the back leg, reach that left palm back. Try to slide that left shoulder away from your ear as you reach the left palm back. Deep breath in. As you exhale, rise back up first. Start to slowly straighten the front leg. Bring your hands to your hips. And once again, this time we're going to do the toes in and the heels out. Shorten your stance as much as you need to. You want the feet to be just a little bit wider than your hips, so not quite hips width distance apart. You want to give yourself space because we're going to take a little forward fold. Now before you go into the forward fold, let's just relax our arms by our sides. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Stay on the exhale. We're going to take the arms and we're going to just reach our hands behind the lower back. Interlacing your fingers so you can see me if you need that. You've got your toes and your heels out. Interlace the fingers together. Slide the hands down. Take a breath in. On the exhale, I'd like for you to soften the knees while simultaneously hinging at your hips. Soften the knees as you bend and hinge at the hips. And you're working towards a forward fold with your hands clasped. If the hands clasped is too much, then feel free to just catch opposite elbows. And again, soften the knees and hinge forward. The focus here in this Prasarita fold is a flat back, not how low you go. The knees bent are to stabilize and support you. If you're ready, you can start to straighten the legs a little bit and keep hinging forward. Maybe you'll notice that your weight is coming more to the toes. That's fine. Find lightness in your heels. Pausing at that point where you can't fold any further. Now once you've reached that point where you can't fold any further, I'd like for you to very gently just start to relax the head. Toes are in, heels are out. The weight is in the toes. The heels are nice and light. Start to straighten the legs a little bit more if you can. We're here for just 3. Keep maintaining that length in your spine for 2. Listen carefully in 1. Wherever your hands are, start to release them towards the mat. Good. Both hands should be on your mat now. Look forward as you breathe in. Good. Now from here, take that left hand and bring it to the center of your mat. And take a deep bend in your left knee. So a nice deep bend in your left knee. And we're just gonna reach up with that right hand. A nice, juicy, wide stretch. Pressing firmly into that left hand, bending deep into that left knee, reaching that right palm up. Deep breath in. Straighten the left leg, release the right hand back down. Switch sides, position your right hand underneath your nose. Take a deep bend in that right knee, or just a soft bend if that feels better. And reach this time that left arm up. press into that right hand, reach up with the left. Just one more breath here. Exhale, release, good. Together this time, we're just gonna crawl the hands to the left so that you're back in a low lunge. Drop the right knee down. Preparing for that little twist variation. Your right hand inside your left foot. Take a nice deep opening in that left palm as you reach up towards the sky. Feel free to stay here or maybe play with the vine. Bend the right knee behind you. Maybe this side is more open. Maybe you can reach for the right toes. And again, if that's not available, just place your left hand to the lower back and embrace the twist. Wherever you are, if you're in the bind and your hand and foot are connected, draw that left shoulder back. Draw that left knee in. We're here for just 3. Press down in that right hand for more of a challenge for 2. In 1, let's release the left hand back down to the mat. Take your time to come into a low lunge first, and then sweep that left leg back to a high plank pose. Our final chaturanga, we're going to take the full variation here. Look forward if you're ready. Inhale first. On the exhale, shift slightly forward and try to lower slowly. Elbow squeeze the side body. Pause. Up dog, nice. Up dog on the breath in, or drop the knees down if you need to. Full up dog, those thighs and knees are lifted. Your chest is pushing forward, soft bend at the elbows. Take a big breath here. Exhale, roll over the knees and the toes, downward facing dog. Full breath here together. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Again, inhale together. And exhale. I'd like for you to walk your hands to the center of your mat. And then walk your feet to the center of the mat. So you're meeting at the center of your mat in a forward fold. Back to the ragdoll. Catch opposite elbows. Take a couple of gentle sways from side to side. Nodding the head yes and no, letting go of all the work you've just done. We're going to take a final balancing sequence together. Inhale, slowly come up halfway, lift shoulders back. Lengthen through the spine. Fold forward. Good. Hands to the hips this time. Inhale, look forward, halfway lift, and then rise all the way up with a soft bend in your knees. Rising all the way up to a stand. Take a moment to just walk your toes together. Relax your arms by your side. We call this standing at attention pose on SDTE. Just finding a moment to reset, prepare for our balance. I'm going to take eagle pose. Nice work and stretch, balancing and also opening up the shoulders. We're prepared for this pose together already through the movements. Find your focus in front of you. I'll face you so you can see. Actually, it might be better to face the side. Shift the weight into your left foot together and think about the right arm going first. So take your arms out by your sides like wings. Sweep that right arm underneath your left. Now, start by just clasping the hands together. If that's not available, hug opposite shoulders. And just create an opening in the side body by swaying from side to side. Maybe even going up and down. If your hands are on your shoulders, keep them there. If your hands are clasped, I want you to work those elbows up in line with your shoulders and push the hands forward away from your face. Now sit low. Again, shift the weight into your left foot. Sit low into an imaginary chair. And with the weight in your left foot, take the right toes slightly off the mat. You have options here. You can wrap your right leg around that left leg and just let your right foot touch the ground and support you. You can take the right foot and let it touch your calf muscle. Or you can maybe wrap that right foot around your left calf muscle if you'd like a challenge. You're imagining that wall behind you just like we did earlier. So lean slightly back. Slide down that imaginary wall. Bring those hands forward. Your joints are essentially in one line of energy. Your elbows, your wrists, your knees, your ankles. You're sitting low. Beautiful. We're here for just 3. Keep squeezing every muscle in your body as you push those hands away, elbows nice and high for 2. Stay with me for one more breath together. Inhale. On the exhale, unravel the legs first, coming up nice and tall. And release, unravel the legs and arms together. Good, shake it out. Beautiful. So many benefits to our eagle pose. I love that pose. Now from here, give yourselves a couple of little sways from side to side. And then we're gonna take the second side. So again, find that focus in front of you. Take those arms out nice and wide. Imagine you're gonna give somebody a big hug. And then on the exhale, wrap that left arm underneath the right. So opposite arm. And again, just start by feeling this arm bind in the body. So take a couple of little movements from side to side. Maybe bring the elbows up, lean back, lean forward. And now again, if your hands are touching the shoulders, stay there. You do want those elbows to reach forward, in line with the shoulders. If your hands are clasped, then bring those hands away from your face and try to get those elbows just a little bit higher so that they are in line with the shoulders as best as you can. This time the weight goes into the right foot, so start by sitting low into an imaginary chair. Take your left toes gently off the mat and play with a variation. Maybe you're just going to wrap the leg first, let it dangle. Maybe the toes come to the mat for support. Or maybe you're ready to wrap the left toes behind that right calf. Imagine that wall behind you. Slide down that imaginary wall and try to align your joints. Visualize one line of energy with the elbows, the wrists, the knees, and the ankles. It's okay if you fall out. Come back to it. We're here for just 3. Sit a little bit lower if you can for 2. In 1, we're slowly going to inhale together. Press into that right foot. Keep the arms as they are. Unravel the leg first. Inhale. Exhale, release everything. Good. Shake it out. Take a couple of gentle sways from side to side. Letting those arms open as you twist. Now, come up to the top of your mat. One final time through that sun salutation to seal our practice. Arms up to the sky. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive forward as you fold. Halfway lift on the breath in, shoulders back. On the exhale, plant the palms, step, jump, or wherever you'd like to a plank pose. Your last chaturanga of the practice. Look forward together, deep breath in. Lower slowly, chaturanga. Up dog on the breath in, shoulders back. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Take a big belly breath in through the nose. And sigh it out as you exhale. Amazing work. Deep breath in. And slow breath out. Back to your child's pose. Let those knees lower to the mat. And tuck your toes. You can bring the knees out wide, or you can keep the knees together for a variation. And just embrace this gentle child's pose. Noticing the difference in the body. Melting your chest downwards as the forehead comes down to the mat. And again, just massage the shoulders, or rather the forehead from side to side. Noticing the breath. Slowing down our heart rate and our breath. Taking just a couple of final movements before our final Shavasana. Coming onto our backs for some spine strengthening. And when you're ready, no rush at all. Take a moment to just press the weight into your hands. Swing those legs over to the sides as you come onto the sit bones. And then together, we're just very gently gonna come into a reverse sit-up. So bring those knees together. Bring those arms in front of you. It's a little bit of a boat pose for just 2 breaths before we surrender onto our backs. And with those palms to face up, keep the chest lifted. And then on the next breath in, start to slowly lift 1, maybe both feet off the mat. Keeping the chest lifted, sliding the shoulders down, bringing your palms up or forward as if you're reaching for something in front of you. Now take one more breath in your boat pose, draw those knees together. On the exhale, melt the hands to your heart center and just start to slowly lower behind you. So pull the navel in towards your spine as you lower all the way down. Just stretch it out. Bring your arms up above behind your head. Point the toes in front of you. And let's just go ahead and bend the knees. From here, we're just going to take one round of bridge pose, Setubandha. So your feet are again hips width distance apart. Just like we did last week, imagine a block between your inner thighs. So you're activating the inner thighs for this pose. Really good for the knees. Really good to strengthen. Press down into both feet, particularly the pinky toes. Arms are by your sides. On the inhale breath, with your gaze directly up towards the sky, lift those hips off the mat. Now from here, I'd like for you to just start to shimmy one shoulder beneath you, and then maybe shimmy the other shoulder. Maybe even catch hands beneath you. Keep imagining that block between your thighs. Lift those hips a little bit higher. Press down evenly into all 10 toes. We're here in this bridge pose for 4 full breaths. Your chin and your chest are connected, stimulating your thyroid gland. Allowing yourselves a moment to just lift those hips a little bit higher. 2 more breaths. Try to relax the glutes if you can. On the next inhale, slowly take your final lift. Release the grip in your hands first. And then as you exhale, start to slowly lower your hips down towards the mat. No rush at all. Take your time as you lower. And once you've lowered all the way down to the mat, just go ahead and knock your knees in. Widen the feet. Re-neutralizing the spine. And take a moment to, if you like, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Draw that left knee in as the right knee opens. And then switch sides. Maybe your hands are on the lower belly to support. Good, and then for here, we're just going to go ahead and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Our supine pigeon. Nice hip opener to wrap up our practice. Push that right knee forward. Make sure that the right foot is flexed. It's really important so that you have that entire right leg activated. Now you can stay here, or if you'd like, hug that left thigh in towards your body. Maybe your hands slide behind that left hamstring, the left thigh. Now you might notice that you're peeling up to get that grip. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your shoulders down on the mat. Bring your leg to you. If that's too much, then just keep that left foot down. Maybe you feel this supine pigeon already. If so, keep pushing that right knee forward and keep pulling those shoulder blades down towards the mat. That final layer is to make sure that both feet are active and engaged. Flexing those toes. We're here for just 3. Inhale to lengthen the spine, squeezing your shoulders down as you exhale for 2. In 1, just start to slowly release the left foot down if it's not already there. And we're going to take a twist right here. Just take that right leg that's crossed in a figure 4. Just take it all the way and imagine you're crossing your legs. And then let the knees fall to the left as you gaze to the right. And again, for this pose, it's all about the shoulders. So you might notice that your one shoulder is lifting. So just slide and adjust your upper body. You want those shoulders to melt into your mat. You want the knees to fall gently, letting gravity do most of the work here. Let the knees fall over to the left and gaze over to the right. Maybe your right arm is out like a wing. Maybe your eyes are closed. Just a couple of slow breaths in our supine twist. On your next inhale breath, you're very gently going to draw those knees back to center. Give yourselves a little squeeze at the top. Neutralize the spine, maybe gently sway from side to side, and we take that final sequence together. Release your right foot down. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. And just pause here. You'll notice a difference because one side tends to be more open than the other. Start by just pushing that left knee forward to start with, activating that left foot. And then from here, maybe take your right thigh towards your body and maybe reach for the back of that right leg. Again, that's just an option. If you're reaching and your shoulders are lifting, pull the shoulders back down. You want to draw that left knee forward to really open up that left hip. And again, take a couple of breaths here. Try to tuck the chin down towards your chest to align the neck so your entire spine is grounded. One more breath here. One more exhale. And very gently start to release the right foot back down to the mat if it's not already there. Go ahead and take a nice wide cross. Take that left leg, cross it all the way over the right leg first. And then let the knees fall to the right this time as you gaze over to the left for your final supine twist. Again, adjusting the upper body if you need to. Press down on the elbows and adjust your thoracic spine. So you want both shoulders down, gazing over to the left. Maybe even allowing that left arm to extend out like a wing. Noticing how the knees fall differently down towards the ground on this side. Just a few more breaths here. On the next breath in, when you're ready, use the strength in your core one last time. Draw those knees back into center. This time, wrap the arms around your shins. Give yourself the biggest hug you've given yourself all day. Squeeze your knees into your chest. Bring the forehead to your knees. Create a little ball with your body as you take a nice full breath here, squeezing every muscle. Inhale. And then sigh it out as you exhale. Let your legs float down to the mat. Let your arms relax by your sides. Your much deserved, most important posture of the entire practice, your Shavasana. So give yourself enough space here as we just find a bit of stillness. The stillness that you've cultivated within your body with your breath and your movements. So let the heels fall in, the toes fall out. Let your arms relax by your sides. Let go of that controlled breath. And just allow yourselves a few moments here to let your natural breathing resume for your Shavasana. As always, you're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Start to just deepen your breath to get out of Shavasana slowly. Bring awareness to your limbs, your fingers, and your toes. Deep breath in through your nose, belly rises. Big exhale, letting that breath go, belly falls. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers as you slowly begin to give yourselves one final full body stretch, reaching the tips of your fingers above your head, tips of your toes forward. Gently hug both knees into your chest. Take your time and then roll over to either the right or the left side. Coming into a supported fetal position for just a moment. Using that left or that right hand to very gently guide you back up to a nice, comfortable seated pose. Easy Sukhasana. Cross at your ankles. Take your hands and frame your hips as you sit yourselves up nice and tall. Maybe press into the tips of your fingers as you roll those shoulders back, lifting your heart, your chest, maybe even the gaze. Deep breath in. And then on the exhale, bring your palms to meet at your heart center, sealing our practice as always by giving yourselves gratitude first for stepping onto your mat, for carving out this time for you, and to one another for our practice. Namaste. Thank you so much. Great work. Hopefully that felt chill.